Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are back with our friend Timea Urban, better known as the Urban Healer, from Reiki Master to registered nurse to healer to empath. She's all the above. And she's right at your fingertips. She's based out of Canada, but she can work with you anywhere around the world. Well, welcome back today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. Same here. For those that may not know of Timea yet, which you are internationally known, you need to. How do we find you? Tell us.
Yes, so you can find me on my website. It's theurbanhealer.ca, CA because I'm in Canada. And you can also find me on Instagram at the.urban.healer. If you want to send me an email, hello@theurbanhealer.ca.
Perfect. So there's so many modalities she can work with you on to help heal. And each and every week we have a different conversation. And one that we've kind of touched upon a little bit here and there, but it's kind of about simplification, simplifying our lives. We talked about clutter and how that can affect us. But what is it about simplifying our lives that can really put us in a better mindset? I mean, there's a lot to that. It's a loaded question. So why do you think we should simplify our lives?
Well, for one, we're moving into springtime soon. So like our bodies actually wants to start decluttering and doing that spring clean. So it's like ingrained in us to want to do that. Two, it's this beautiful way of just making life easier. And it's like the more simple things are, the more streamlined things are. The more you reduce the clutter that's around you, the less of that energetic vibration and that like energetic clutter you're getting. We already live in such an overstimulated society. It's like we're in front of screens all day, every day. Everything is super bright. Everything has sound. You're around a lot of people, especially like I'm in Toronto, you're in like New York. Like it's just like everything is just like too much. And your brain it can't handle that. It's not supposed to. The same way like the sun sets and it gets dark, it's supposed to be dark because it signals your brain to be like, okay, we're settling, go to bed. Sun comes up, I'm getting up. Okay, let's do this. And that's why like I also personally think you shouldn't be awake before the sun rises because I'm like, it's dark. My body wants me sleeping. Thank you. Just saying. So that being said, it's like it has such a huge effect on your energy. And whether you're thinking like energy healing, but also like your vitality, like your pep in your step. Like I know when I come home, and there's like clutter in my home, I'm just like, oh God, I can't do this. And it just doesn't feel good. And you don't have to be an empath or into energy to come home to a messy home and get frazzled by that. And that being said, it's like for you to reduce the stimulation around you will reduce your stress. And it's like with like ideas like feng shui, when things are moving in a certain way where it just feels good. Like how good does it feel to come home to a beautiful like home that is clean and tidy and everything's where it needs to be? You're just like, okay, I want to be here. And that's why like being in places like spas where everything's like super clean, simple, you're just like, oh my God, this is magic. I love that. Like you wouldn't want to be at a spa that's like cluttered because like, I don't like this. So that being said, this is a really important part of both your energetic health, your physical health, your mental health. And I mean, like, just as like food for thought, if you don't declutter, you're gonna have a hard time to clean. And then you end up having things like mildew, dust, mold that can actually like make your allergies worse, make your asthma worse. It's like if you don't make your bed, you're not going to have as good of a sleep. And I used to be bad with this one. I never made my bed.
I love the feeling of knowing that it's made to come home to a bed and open it up. Even leaving the house, it feels so good knowing that it's made and comfy. Yes. And even though there's like a million decorated pillows that go on top that no one's allowed to sleep on, have to go on the floor, it just looks like a hotel. It makes me feel so at ease and peace. The days I forget or I'm too busy, I just feel I'm not right.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so there is so much like truth behind that. And it's like when you're able to simplify your life, you're better with less. And it's like there's so many things that are around us that you don't need. And it's not really adding to like what you desire. Like if you open up your closet and things are like falling over and then you're like, I don't have time. And like, oh, now things are on the ground. And then you're like rolling them up and then you're like, oh my God. It's like you don't even see what's there. So it's like you don't even end up wearing the things you want because you forgot about them or they're shoved in the corner. And then you end up wearing the same like 5 things because they're your favorite things that are in rotation in the laundry. Like, let's just be real. Like that's true. Yeah.
It's true. And that's
Yeah.
important too. Decluttering, I think you got to clear out the wardrobe, and it's good to donate clothes to give to people because we all know we're not wearing what we have. We overbuy or have overbought and might as well put it to use. And I have a bag that I've been collecting and for my closet, and I have my kids, and I'm going to eventually, when I have time, it's going to make me feel better, go through it. And then I have all those bins in the attic with all their clothes. I don't need them all. I'm going to choose a few, let them go. But that's on my list. So tell us more about some of the benefits of decluttering in a
Absolutely.
sense and what that could feel and look like to us and how it can put us in a better mood.
Absolutely. So it's gonna give you clarity and focus. I know for me, I can't work on a cluttered desk. And even if I just like pile it and
Well,
move it out of sight,
yeah.
it's all good. No judgment, Joe. No
Hmm.
judgment. Okay. I can't see anything. But it's like it makes you feel more focused because it's not everywhere.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
The other thing is it actually reduces cortisol in women, which is so interesting because a woman coming home to like a messy home will immediately spike her cortisol.
Yeah.
So it like activates that stress response. It actually improves your self-esteem. And like this is kind of like interesting. So I was doing a little bit of research on this. I was like, well, self-esteem, why? Well, unfortunately, we base a lot of our like sense of control, sometimes external from us. So for your home to look neat and tidy, you feel like your life is under control and you're controlling something that's controllable, which
Hmm.
then gives you that sense of like, I'm okay, it's okay. And it's like a sense of accomplishment. Like I know when I
Yeah.
clean my home, I'm like, I'm amazing. Look how
And
clean my floors are,
yeah, it feels
you know?
good.
100%. And then it also gives you this like life satisfaction and improves your quality of life. Like if I open up my pantry and everything's falling over, like I don't like that. I don't like cooking in a messy kitchen. And it's like I open up a drawer and I'm looking for something and I was like, oh God, what is happening here? But when you know where everything is, it just like feels good. Like you just like open, you're like, yes, my life is good. So small things, you know? And then again, it's like it's gonna give you this more ease and flow in your life where just things just feel and look better. It's like we don't need additional stimulus. We don't need another thing to make us feel crappy about ourselves. And we don't need one more thing of like, I have 15 minutes to eat and I can't spend 10 minutes looking for something. It
Uh-huh.
needs to be like bam, 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 let's go. And that's like anybody. It doesn't matter if you have kids or if you're a business owner. We don't have that much extra free time. So you want to use your time more efficiently. And when everything's where it needs to be, you just flow through your life a little bit easier.
And realistically, you mentioned those with kids. I mean, for example, looking behind you, you have two nice pillows propped all nicely. I have a whole bunch of pillows on my couch that every minute they're around, they're on the floor, they're dented, they're pushed, and it drives me nuts. So
Yeah.
parents, we understand, we can empathize, and it's not easy with the kids. But the best thing is
100%.
you can't have clutter around with the kids because then they're going to play with your clutter. Guilty. Even their toys are now have become cluttered, and
Yeah.
I make time to get them to the garage to donate the ones I need because now they're not even playing with it. So it's like, wow,
Mhm.
there's too much. Sometimes too much is not a good thing. It's overwhelming, and now they're out of the toy room because they're not even using it anymore because there's too many toys and we don't even have anywhere to walk. It's just it's not good. So yes, we need to simplify our lives.
100%.
Okay, how
Yes.
so?
Okay, so the other way that I would like declutter, and this is like not necessarily a physical thing, but saying no to things that you don't enjoy anymore. So whether that is an activity, whether it is something that you're investing time into, but you're like, it just doesn't fulfill me anymore, or whether it's just like saying no to even like getting together with certain people, because that also causes clutter. Because if you look at your schedule, and you throw up in your mouth a little bit and you're like, how am I going to get through my week? And I was like, oh my God, next week looks exactly the same. And like, it's
Uh-huh.
indefinitely like that. Guilty.
Yep.
That's what I did in the last like 2, 3 weeks. I went through my schedule and I was literally like, does this bring me joy? Does this move me forward? Does this move my business forward? Because if it doesn't, why? You
Yeah.
don't get a prize for being super busy. Like there is no gold star. It's like you get a gold star if you make it through with ease and it felt good. So just reassess what you're doing. And then again, it's like, do you need those things? It's like we all have a junk drawer. How often do you go in there and how often do you actually use something?
All the kids make the junk drawer even junkier and things are hanging out of it. I can't even shut it right now from old like telephone cords that don't even fit like the right USB port or whatever. I
Ooh.
have them out just in case, just in case. I'm like, why? I'm never going to use them, but they're in there just in case it's a problem and I need to work on that. But
It's
okay.
okay. It's okay. But it was funny because there was when I was doing some research for today's notes, one person recommended put all your junk drawer stuff into a box, label it with a date, and if you did not open up that drawer or like that box within 1 month, or there's nothing in there that you can even name, gone.
Oh my gosh, that is a great idea. Well, someone
Yeah.
also told me, oh, just take all the junk off your counter and throw it in a bag. So I threw it in a bag and that bag hasn't been touched. It's now in the kids' toy room. So that says a lot. Okay. Uh-huh.
I had that. I had the bag and it was hiding underneath my kitchen table. But then I moved my kitchen table. So when anyone walks in, it's the
You
first thing
went.
that they see. And I was like, damn, this is a bad decision. So I was like, all right,
Wow.
it's gone. It's gone.
Mhm. Oh my
Let it
gosh.
go. Let it go.
Let
And
it
it's like, this is
go.
something I know always the song.
I know, but it's true.
It's so true. So, I mean, really, we all have extra things we don't need. And now that we're entering into a more light phase of the year, now that things are like lessening with COVID and things are opening up and you have a little bit more breathing space, and we're all super aware of being at home so much, let
Mhm.
those things go. Like you don't need them. And it's like such a mindset thing of like the scarcity of like, oh my God, but what if I let it go? What if I need it? But if you haven't used it, you're not going to suddenly need it. And like, really, we're privileged people that if you really need that cord, you can buy a new one. What if that old cord doesn't even work?
Ex- Good point. Good
You
point.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like for you to energetically see it or for it to even be in your home and it's like causing extra energy. So it's like when you're home, you don't even feel relaxed. Was that worth it? How much is the cord? $10?
Yeah,
And chances are you're not going to rebuy the cord. Sorry.
you're right. All right. Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, we should also simplify our lives. I know digitally too. Now I have like so many pictures on my phone, and it's like,
Mhm,
what are some of the things we should be doing? Because I take a million pictures each and every time too, and I feel like
mhm.
mind boggled that my phone has 100 and something thousand pictures on it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
there's.
And that's okay. And it's totally fine. We're human.
Mm-hmm.
Try to clear that up. So when you open up your computer, is there like a whole bunch of apps and a whole bunch of folders all over the place? So you literally like hits you and you're like, oh God. You know what? You can literally put all of those folders into one folder and shove it into the corner. So when you open up your computer, you don't see it.
Uh-huh. Doesn't feel
Perfect.
cluttered. Yeah.
Same with my phone. When I open up my phone, three apps on the front, they're at the very top. Everything else is on like the next page, or it might be in one big folder separated. And again, it's like, how often do you look at your phone and then all those apps hit you in the face and you're like, oh gosh, no, don't do it. It's like, we're such suckers for punishment. And it's like those little tiny things add up. And even if your eyes lingering on that, looking for the app that you actually need, the ones you actually use, you just wasted like 20 seconds of your eyes searching and your brain being like, like,
True.
why? Why?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let it go. And if there's apps that are on your phone that serve no purpose, they just make you go down a spiral of, let's say, you're going to buy something or you're going to compare yourself to others, or it's like a game that like actually does not like do anything for your mind, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Imagine spending 10 minutes of your eyes closed, breathing deeply or meditating, as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
getting sucked into Instagram. And then you're like, how was that 40 minutes? Where did I go? How did I end up here? What am I buying? What is this?
So true. Yeah.
So that's a big thing. Also, with your paperwork, and I used to be like the queen of keeping all paperwork and then just like piled up. Do you really need it? No, unless you need it for your taxes, sure. But everything else, like get rid of it and then put everything digital. And then it's like when you need it, you can actually search it and you'll know exactly where it is because it's, living up there in the interwebs, wherever that is, as opposed to looking through the drawers. So get rid of that. Regularly also clean up you mentioned your phone and your pictures. God forbid your phone got lost or damaged. What if you lost those?
Yeah. happened over the summer to me in Greece. I had most everything backed up, but not my pictures from Greece when I was there. So I was
Mhm.
hysterical, crying, and but then,
Mhm.
ironically, energetically, the next 3 months, I broke two more phones. So it was three phones that got damaged. So there's something
Wow.
going on. So I
Okay.
learned my lesson and started backing everything up. But I was like, okay, what is going on? What is happening? But finally got it back, and then now I've stunted. My growth is stunted in my pictures. Now there's still like maybe 30,000 since September that I haven't uploaded. Got to do
Okay.
that
Well,
again. That's on
this
my
is
list
your
of things to do. Yep, 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 yep.
friendly reminder, but you can also have like a setting where it like automatically uploads to the cloud.
It does Google, and but it doesn't do it all the time. So you got to tap it at
Oh,
night, and then it doesn't automatically
mm,
sync. It should. It's clicked to
okay.
be that way, but it doesn't. So I forget to hit that at night. But
Of course, absolutely.
what other
And that's
things?
okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I'm at the gym, let's say if I'm doing something like neutral, like I'm on the treadmill, not running, or like on the Stairmaster, I'll just clear out my phone and I'll just get through stuff and clean it. If you clean it a little bit regularly, then you're not going through like 20,000 pictures in one sitting, which is a little too much. So throwing it out there. And that being said, clean out your contact list. And I do that all the time. Like if you have someone in there without even a last name, there's no purpose to them. Like there isn't. Like what? Who is this person? Maybe it's like an acquaintance, a friend of a friend, or like a client one day, like
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Like,
Oh, am I frozen? No, I'm
yeah,
not.
you
Okay,
are.
perfect.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
Perfect. So clean that out. So it's like
Okay.
anybody that isn't meant to be like in your contact list, clear it out. And I actually also clear out my messages. Are you going to go through those old messages? Because like they hold energy and they also hold physical space on your phone.
Let me see.
True,
I got
true, true.
16,000 emails right now. I just looked. But I got them down to like 11 a few months ago. So I'll go back when I have time. But
I did that yesterday. It was gross. And then it's like as your emails come through, unsubscribe,
spam.
unsubscribe.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then you're cleaning it out. And like this is a huge one that I'm guilty of. An email will come up. I'll read it, and then I'll just leave it. And then I'll need to go back and reread it and like reply. So you actually just spend twice as long. So when an email comes through, either do not open it and reply.
Great
And then
advice.
immediately folder garbage, like immediately. And if you're in it, like the more times you change what you're doing, the more like capacity in your mind and energy you're losing. So when you're like reading the email, reply to the email, deleted it, done, that can be done in like this much time, which is little in case you can't see me. But then if you do it over like I kind of read it, I forgot about it, oh my god, I have to go back, now you're thinking about it, like don't forget to reply, oh my god, but it's not like as marked as unread because I already opened it, where is it? It's like, what just happened? Do it quickly, immediately, get it done. And that being said, I also really recommend checking in with your finances on a regular basis because that has a lot of energy and a lot of clutter. And it's something that a lot of people feel triggered about. But then it's like, you're still going to have to pay your bills. And if you have debt, it's not gone because you don't look at it, it's still there. And if there's something that maybe there was fraud and you didn't notice it, or you're going to wait 3 weeks and then scrambling trying to figure it out. So look at your finances at least once a week and make it into something good. Light a candle, gentle music, and just be like, it's just numbers. It doesn't matter. It does not determine who you are, your worth. We've all made some questionable like financial decisions. It's okay. Totally fine. But you do need to own up to it and look at it. Otherwise, it's just like this dark cloud that like hovers over you,
Yeah, I'm
which
just suggest to make a little more than that minimum payment if you can, because that's also important. Yeah, I'm not in debt, but I do have a one particular credit card that I spent quite a few $1,000s on a few months ago, and it's going down, down, down. Like I felt like I needed new clothes, and now I'm still paying them off, but I'm almost down. I got $400 left. I was like, yes. So little
amazing.
payments, but try,
Absolutely.
yes, try to make a little more than that minimum payment instead of $20, make it
Absolutely.
40. It's yes, it's important.
Now, you mentioned clothes. Okay.
Yes.
Important rule. You're not allowed to go shopping until there's physical space in your closet. Something in, something out. Must. Non negotiable. And that is like, I literally like, that is how I make my decisions. I'm like, I really want to go shopping. And I was like, damn it, that means I need to clean my closet. And I
Yeah.
was like, I won't go shopping. I'll wait. And it's like, I have like a decent sized closet, but it's not like aggressive and I don't have any storage. So it's like my summer, winter, all my stuff has to be in one closet, which I'm like, oh, cringing. But then I was like, okay, am I going to buy a new pair of jeans? I have jeans right there. So then I like forced myself to put on the jeans and I was like, okay, cool. I don't like this one. I will let it go. I'm allowed to buy one new pair of jeans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, with that being said, even if you have clothes that you love and they like look good on you, but you have a memory attached to them, let's say you got in an argument with somebody, or you remember it was like, this is something you were on a date with someone you're not together with anymore, it holds energy. And it's like you're going to put it on and then like go back to that like memory, feel gross, take it off, and then hang it back up. Let it go.
Yeah.
And it's such a huge deal. It makes a big difference. And it's like also anything that like feels gross. And this is like, I don't know if men have this, so I'm sorry if this doesn't make sense to you, but we all have clothes that you put on and you feel fabulous and fantastic and it just hits your curves right and you feel hot. And then there's other clothes you put on and then you're like tugging and it's like pinching.
You
Get
know
rid of
it's
it.
not, but like you feel like you have to hold on to it. But why? Why?
Let it
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Let it go. It's like, if anything, you put it on and it's going to trigger you, or you see it and you're like, yeah, the jeans that don't fit. And then you go into your spiral.
Yeah.
Let it go. Same with jewelry. Is it broken? Do you not wear it? Sell it. I did that right before the pandemic and it was like hilarious because I like went into like a pawn shop and I was like, here. They're like, what's going on? And I was like, I'm cleaning.
Like, did you steal this? No.
No, I
But I
didn't.
know.
Maybe.
But
Don't
even
ask.
like I have so many pens and pencils that are around the house, and I have a bag full of pens. And if I really need all those pens, by the time I need those pens, it won't be working anymore. But I have this whole big collection of pens, and it's just horrible. Now with the kids, now I have markers and crayons, and I'm like, ah,
Put the kids to use. Be like, play with all the pens. The ones that don't work, throw them away. This is your like task. Just saying, if you have
good.
kids, put them to work. They'll love it. Now, also with women, go through your makeup and your skincare stuff. Like we all have samples that it's like, how long have they been there? For 10 years? You're not going to use it. And like, if you like mess up your skincare routine and you just randomly try something new, like it like throws things off. Like it's not even worth it. So it's just like garbage. Travel size stuff. Are you traveling? Will you use this? No, garbage. Like just let it go. And this is my other thing of like, I'm not allowed to buy new makeup unless I've used it or thrown it away. So then again, I'm just like,
Good.
okay, throw it away.
Good. What about, I'm not sure your policy in Canada, but here in New York, we got rid of there's no more plastic bags, but you have paper bags and we got to pay 5 cents for them. But I have a pile of bags. I'm like, because I'm just going to use them. I mean, I do have a cat, so I'll use for cat litter. I'll double up. So, but I have an enormous amount of bags. And instead of having a nice laundry holder in the laundry room, it's this big thing with 3 tiers and there's all bags in it.
Okay, well, if you're using it for a reason,
Yeah,
keep them. We are
they're
allowed to
stacking
have
up.
them.
Yeah, but
Well, then get rid of it. Because like I use it because I put my garbage into it because I live in a condo. So it's
yep.
like I have little
You have to
garbage
shoot.
over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like for me it works, but it's like otherwise let it go. And it's like
Okay.
same with like we talked about your electronics and those cords. Do you need them?
Yeah.
No. Are you
No.
gonna use them? No. Books, magazines.
Yep.
If you
Same
haven't
thing.
read it in the last year, please donate. Someone would maybe want to read that book and maybe that book has served its purpose for you and its time is up. So then just let it go. And
Okay.
like honestly, these little things, and like I've listed a lot. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, I have to go through my makeup, my clothes, my like this, my that. Don't look at it that way. Can you spend a little bit of time every day decluttering something? One drawer, one drawer. And it's like when I declutter my closet, usually I don't do a big overhaul necessarily. I'll be like, okay, socks,
Yeah.
okay, shirts. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like do little by little. And like these are some of my daily suggestions because again, everything's about consistency. You can't work out once and have abs. You can't meditate once and be like a Zen Buddhist. You can't declutter once and it's okay. You got to do it
Okay.
regularly. So spend a little bit of time every day. I do this before I go to bed. I probably look like a crazy person because it's like the lights are super down and I'm like frantically running around and I'm just like making piles and like clearing everything up. So when I wake up, it's
Yeah.
not like clutter and it just feels so much better.
Me too.
So
No
then
dishes allowed on my sink at night. I have to do it at night because I feel better
no,
going into the clean kitchen. Okay, good. What are the suggestions?
absolutely. Make sure your bathroom and your side table and your bedroom are clear. Because again, bathroom, one of the first things you do when you wake up, your bedroom cannot be cluttered. Cannot. Don't put things, I feel like you said you have things underneath your bed.
I do. Magazines.
Move them. Move it.
Okay.
Gone.
Okay.
Gone.
A
Because
lot of them.
that's where you sleep. So all that energy is like underneath you. There should be
Mhm.
nothing underneath your bed. There shouldn't be anything on your side table unless it's like a glass of
Good.
water or like an essential oil, like
Okay.
minimal. Because the clearer it is, it's like we sleep pretty good when we go to like a nice hotel because there's nothing there. And
Yeah.
when you open up your eyes, you don't see your laundry pile, you know? True.
It
So
is
true.
true. Yeah. And you recommend making a list as well?
Yes. So one, make a list of what you want to get done the next day. Like I kind of write down my schedule of like what to expect and 3 things I need to get done. I used to like make a list and it like kept on going. And then I would like feel like crap when I didn't get it done, even though it's physically not possible to get it done. So choose 3. And I also have it on like a small sticky note. So if I run out of room, I'm literally like, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
All
you
right.
think this is too much? But then also jot down what's going through your mind. You're like, oh my God, I got to get this done. And then I need to get this done. And I need to call like my bank and like, oh, I don't forget to do this, and write it all down and then energetically detach from it and leave it in another room. Don't let it be in
Okay.
your bedroom. And then literally like tell your mind, like my list will await me until I wake up and it's right there. And that's enough. And let it go. And that really gives you a little bit of time to kind of like decompress. And then you're not thinking about it. Cause like I can't sleep if there's a thing in my mind. Be like, oh my God, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. Don't do that. Write it down. You
Write
won't
it
forget.
down.
It's there.
Good. Great
So
suggestions. Great tips
thank
today.
you.
Really.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And again, start small, one drawer at a time, make it fun, put on some music, invite over a friend. If you can, if you have the means, hire someone else to do it. I literally delegate anything and everything I don't want to do. And I'm just like, worth the investment, please do it. Because then it'll be done and you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And everyone, don't strive for perfection. Like, no one's going to judge you. Like, I'm like, kind of like, shoot, I should have fluffed that pillow. Did you notice? No.
No, I said they were perfect. Now I do see a little
Exactly.
wrinkle.
See?
Please,
Oh
but now
my goodness. How could I? So
I mean,
again,
look, I have
just
a
do
wrinkle
it.
in this too. It's so fun. This is my backdrop, and I ironed it originally, but it's fallen so many times because the stand is broken. I'm waiting for a new stand, so it
Yeah.
keeps wrinkling. But yeah, so let me
Sure.
block that. See, mhm.
See, here you go. See? And it's like, I never noticed that. No one's going to judge
Okay,
you on that.
but we
Just
are
make
like,
it.
okay,
Hello. It's all good. We're not weird. It's all
no,
good.
no,
I see
no.
you. I love you. We're good. We're good
Love
as
you
we are.
too. You're so cute.
There you
Um,
go. Those are my
and
tips for you.
well, beautiful. Simplify, simplicity, and plus spring is here. It's kind of like a spring cleaning segments, like to declutter. We're getting ready for
Mhm.
that. We feel we need to declutter, especially for the warmer weather. And how are we going to leave off with the listeners today? How do we reach out to you specifically?
Yes. Yes. You can find me on Instagram at the.urban.healer. You can find me on my website, theurbanhealer.ca. Send me an email, hello@theurbanhealer.ca. Do have a couple things coming up. So when you want to get Reiki certified or do a Reiki mentorship for the master program, that's happening. There's group coaching, there's one-on-one coaching, whatever you desire. I got you.
Love you. Pleasure having you here as always, Timea. Mwah. Thank you so
Take
much.
care.
Have a great weekend.
Thank
And
you.
wait, today's Friday, right?
It is
Oh, so we
all
do
day.
usually work on Mondays. I usually say have a great week. But all right, this is cool. Have a great
Yes.
weekend.
There you go.
Got me
Blessed.
energized.
Done.
Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.